These are Cheeterz. And essentially what we've got here is a preloaded magazine loader. And this set is assisted load ammunition. So Cheeterz Assisted Load Ammunition. This is new brass manufactured ammunition developed and designed to be easier to load into your magazines. Now, sure, this gets a little eye roll and I definitely have my skeptical face on, but the important thing here to understand is that there may be part of our market in the shooting world that is well served by preloaded magazine loaders. I can't tell you how many times I've actually heard people, usually joking, but sometimes very seriously, people who are new to the shooting world coming out to the range and saying, you know, is there a way to get these magazines preloaded once they, you know, start trying to figure out how to get the magazines loaded and figured out? And I see a lot of people in classes and a lot of tough guys with plate carriers and drop leg holsters and camo pants using loaders to assist loading the magazines. And absolutely, I grew up, you know, sticking them in there and learning that on the Ruger Mark II, pushing that little knob down and putting the 22s in. And then I've got a little technique that I use with my thumb on the side and I push down on the front of that bullet and slide it back in, and I don't worry too much about it. But I've also been doing this for over 30 years. So someone who's new to the sport might actually benefit from the idea of an assistance when it comes to loading the magazines. And we do know how the assisting loaders work. You know, you push down on the table or you push down with some leverage against your body and it gives you a space to drop that bullet in. Well, what this does is it has the bullets pre-packaged inside of this little plastic guy, comes with a rubber band around it. It's got a one-way, and this does take a little bit of a learning curve, it's got a one-way little pressure adapter here that you push down that then can't slide back up. And you can see this is set up with that round back end just like a loader would be. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna use this at the front of the magazine. We're gonna push down on the follower, and then I'm gonna slide the bullet back in under the feed lips, and this is where it gets a little tricky from what I can tell. Once the bullet is there, I've got to rock forward so that the loader comes out of the back of the magazine and I can seat that bullet all the way back. Then I come back up to the front, and again I push down, slide back, rock forward, and push that bullet back. You see, that's where it gets a little tricky. And then with a third hand, apparently, I push down on that little pressure piece, and that's sort of the trick there. Is I get it, I understand it, and it's absolutely no pressure on the thumbs. If I have a weaker hand, you know, than the average person that comes out to the range to shoot a handgun, then absolutely this is gonna load. It's very low energy, it's very easy to push down. This gives you a lot of leverage with the weight of this thing and the size of this thing. And again, I gotta push back on the front of that with the front of the loader. So relatively easy, even here on camera, and believe me, I haven't emptied one of these yet. You've now seen me load as many rounds in a row as I've loaded with one of these guys, because I really wanted to kind of get the experience of opening it up, seeing what it's all about. You know, so maybe one more bullet came out of this one. It is available in different colors, and I guess that could be a fashion thing if you want purple or green or blue. The other thing it might do is let you keep track of different calibers. So let's say that in the future they offer, you know, different calibers, 40 caliber, 45. You may have all your black preloaded magazines are 9mm, and your purple ones are 40 caliber or whatever. That seems to make sense. This also will work on single stack magazines. I actually had been practicing earlier on a single stack magazine, so we'll take a look there. I'm gonna push down on the front and put that in there, rock backwards, and again, kind of slide that back. So if you have a dexterity issue that prevents you from being able to load magazines, I don't know if this is gonna help, because there's definitely some finagling that needs to happen, and obviously like anything else, you get more practice, you get the hang of it. But as far as taking some of the pressure and strength issues away when it comes to loading magazines, the Cheeterz definitely helps. So again, new manufactured ammo, don't know much about the ammo, haven't shot any of it yet, we're gonna get to that, but I wanted to share this with you as an option and tell you that, you know, yes, it works, here's how it works. That if you start seeing this advertised, especially, you know, obviously going to be marketed towards women, maybe towards older folks, people who are, again, new to shooting. Those three categories are probably where this is going. If you're used to being out there just kind of pounding them in with your thumbs, this probably isn't going to make life easier for you, because you don't need to cheat, but some people might, and that's what the Cheeterz are apparently all about.